Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake! This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy, your voice of choice. The world's only 12-hour strong man on the air. Here on We Love
Films
108 FM. The last on your dial, but first in your hearts. And that's the truth. Root. Here I am. Am I here? You know it. You know. This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy doing the nasty to your ears to the nasty. Eyes only play the platters that matter, the matters they platter. And that's the Root.
From the heart of Bed-Stuy, you're listening to We Love
Films.
Doing the yin and the yang, the hip and the hop, the stupid fresh thing, the flippity flop.
Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. Now this is podcasting.
How you guys doing today?
Oh man, things are
nice
going
and
well.
organic.
Yeah, very organic. This is
Sliding right in.
just
A little slice of life amongst friends.
oh, jeez.
I'm great, Trey. I'm just gearing up for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Oh, me too. That's my favorite holiday of the year. I feel like it's an important holiday that leads up to a very important month, Black History Month. I celebrate that every month, actually, not just February.
Share how you celebrate.
Actually, I don't even celebrate it February because that's the one month I don't celebrate because I celebrate it every other month. That's how much I respect it.
I'm like that with Truck Month.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like that with like President's Day. I celebrate the president every day.
Are you supposed to celebrate the current president or all
I think it's
presidents?
all the presidents. I don't think
There's
it's the current
too many
president
to celebrate.
because the one that's in office now is not my president. Those eggs taste good, Adam?
Yeah.
They taste all right?
Yeah, they're pretty good eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, were they fresh?
Oh, they were nice and slimy the way eggs are supposed to be.
I think Adam's turning into the fish monster from Shape of Water.
He definitely
slowly.
is.
Yeah. He's eating eggs.
And,
it's 2018 goals. Did you see that ass? He's ripped.
Plot twist, Connor is actually going to be Sally Hawkins' character.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. He's got the hair,
Yeah.
that very feminine hair.
If you notice, Connor's talking less and less on the gaming podcast.
Actually, he's been talking a lot more, which has kind of been
Well-
getting in my crawl. He's taking my spotlight.
Excellent yes-anding.
Yeah, he is. He's great at that. Him and, you know what? Him and Austin should just get their own podcast together.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Trey, are you breaking news?
Maybe I'm breaking news.
I feel like you play whatever side of the fence you're on.
What do you mean?
I've
Like when you're with them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
You're with them.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Multiple personalities. You're two-faced.
No, I think
like
it's more
in the
fun.
movie.
Oh, like in the Batman,
Mhm.
the Batman movie.
Yeah.
Multiple Batman.
You also put words in my mouth all the time.
I don't do that, Spencer.
You basically said that I coined the term christeners.
Oh, that was Adam. Yeah, that wasn't you. Look, I can't. I can't tell you guys apart sometimes. You know.
It's a big enough problem. Someone messaged Austin, like they were given my name for something.
Yeah.
And then they messaged Austin. They were like, "Hey, are you doing this?" He was like, "No, that's Adam. You had to look up my name on Facebook to send me this message."
Oh man,
and
they still can't tell us apart.
They can't. You guys are so similar. You know.
Oh well. Speaking of, last night, Lexi and I decided to order a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And it was raining, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy who has the pizza man come and deliver the pizza in the rain. That would stink.
Mm-hmm.
So Lexi says, I want Campese's. And at the corner of Coit and Campbell in Richardson, on one side there's a Polio's pizza, the other side there's a Campese's. I ordered Campese's pizza, and then I drove to Polio's, and
I thought it's called Paleo's.
And then you yelled at the.
And then, what the heck? What do you mean? My pizza's not ready. I didn't order a pizza. Oh, and so
you should have had Campese's delivered to Paleo's.
So I order Campese's to be delivered to Paleos, drive to Paleos.
Why are you saying Paleos now?
No,
you let Trey get in your head and change what you knew was right.
I'm just
it's Paleos,
trying.
not Paleos. Right to the show.
It's Paleo's Pizza.
No, it's Paleos. It's like the paleo diet.
The O stands for entertainment. Paleo Pizza.
Pale E entertainment O's.
So it's. Anyways, Adam, what have you been watching?
This is hey, we gotta do the rigmarole first.
Okay.
This is Super FilmsCast 64 is the podcast where we talk about movies. This is me, Trey Mitchell. My phone just went off, so you know it's a good show already.
Mm-hmm.
We got Adam Fullerton here.
Yeah.
He's killing the taxpayer's dollar, talking about potholes and zoning ordinances. What took you today? What were they talking about today?
They were
not that you took any time. I mean, it's fine. But.
They were filling a bunch of boards and commissions that people had resigned from.
Jeez, just taking the taxpayers' time and money, right?
They're elected officials. They can do whatever they want.
Do council members get paid?
Yeah, they get paid for per meeting. It's not very much in Louisville, but in Dallas, it's could be your full-time job.
Do a lot of those council members dream of being in Dallas? Is that their goal?
I don't think so. I think it's about improving the community that they're in.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
You should go on.
All politics is local.
You should go on to TC's podcast.
Yeah, tell them a thing or two about what it's really like.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't, talk in his ear at DCH when he was there and try to get on his podcast.
Well, he knew who I was.
Mm-hmm. It's
and
a start.
I don't know. I didn't want to be like, hey, your dad was like, hey, you're the hog man. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, your dad said
My dad was that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wait, you're the hog man?
TC had to catch and kill a hog.
Well, no, he knew that because I helped him. So,
okay.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't him being a P1 being a jerk. It was just he knew that I helped him out with it. So,
yeah.
My dad isn't that guy, Adam.
I thought he said you were the hog man.
No, TC.
Really interested how Adam is the hog man.
He's the hog man.
That's because I got a huge penis.
My dad knows. Trust me.
Yup.
He knows all about my friend's penises.
What hogs are most known for?
Trey's dad sells ultrasounds, but he has a little handheld one, and he just rubs it over your pant leg,
he does
just so he
handheld.
knows exactly what's working on.
Oh, Trey, you got some very large friends.
He did say something like, I'm not an especially large guy, but he said something that whenever he got to the seat, because he joined about halfway through, we're sitting in the front.
To Trey's improv.
He was like, I fell in love with your dad, because right away he was just fluffing my ego. Yeah. Trey's
he does
improv
a good job
show.
at fluffing egos.
Fluff my ego made me feel like a real big, strong man. But yeah, Trey graduated level 2 of improv.
Yeah.
And he was hilarious, everyone.
Crushed.
You're about to do level 1.
About to start, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
Start on Thursday.
I'm gonna give you a call afterwards. You're gonna tell me how it went. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
Oh yeah, you'll be my coach.
Yeah, I'll be
my side coach.
I'm gonna be your coach. You don't take Adam and Austin's advice. Take my advice.
Yeah, why would I?
Yeah.
Why
would you do that?
Why would I help Spencer at all? I'm out there trying to be the funniest. I'm not gonna help anyone.
Right.
I'm out looking out for number 1.
You're gonna be you're gonna be pulling ladders up from under you every day. Pulling ladders away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to get them. You got to climb to the top, not them.
Yeah, when I tell Adam break a leg, I
literally mean break a leg.
Yeah, I'm very serious about my make believe.
Anyway, I did. When we talked about what shows we watched, I did give you guys a big compliment. You and Heather, I do really enjoy your okay. I think the format really helps it out, because I think sometimes when you see a show that is pure improv, you're kind of at first a little tense because you don't know how it's going to go. And I think it's a credit for the format. It's just a credit for how you guys work too. I think it's just a lot easier watch because you kind of know, okay, this is what they're going to be doing. And I mean this in like the best way.
I 100% agree. That's what I like about it too. Is that for a lot of outsiders, going to see an improv show can be weird.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
a lot of people are performing for other improvisers instead of outside audiences, and it doesn't really make sense to a lot of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I like to have a show that people who may be listening to this podcast would want to pop in and have a good guffaw.
Billy Everyteen's favorite show.
Yeah, I want to be the 2.5 Men of improv shows.
All right, give us a one-word suggestion that would be wacky for two guys raising a boy. Give us an episode name for that type of show.
Tiger Blood.
Nah, winning.
Bazinga.
Perfect.
What have you guys been watching?
Well, we started our 2018 race to 100
And
new movies.
Adam's already winning
because
he's seen like 50 movies already.
I saw 7.
Jesus Christ.
This week.
Jeez, yeah, you're killing me.
I thought I liked movies, and then I met Adam Fullerton, and he loves movies.
Yeah,
well, there's a lot of stuff that I'd kind of been wanting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty much
just kind of kicked me in the right direction.
Yeah,
so keep going.
I was gonna say I'm pretty much just playing for second because it's like you know how the whole saying goes, like if you're in the woods with your friends and a bear starts chasing after you, you only have to be faster than the slowest friend.
Exactly.
So I just have to beat Trey.
Yeah, I just got to beat Spencer.
Okay, so the movies I watched John Wick 2, which I've been
How'd you like John
meaning
Wick
to
2?
get around to. It's great as a action movie. I love Common trying to speak Italian, I believe. He's just like living in Italy, just talking like he's some sort of Italian man, which Common is not. But there's a lot of really cool scenes. There's one where they run through a concert shooting guns at each other, and I was
that's
like,
not
"This
holding
is
up very well."
Yeah, this is not quite fun. But there's a lot of great action sequences. There's one in like Mirror House, which is really cool. It's
like a fun house.
It's supposed to be a museum exhibit.
Yeah.
But the way they do it, I have no idea how they shot it, because I mean they would have had to composite out the camera in every single shot in a million different.
I'm so curious how they
locations.
do a lot of those mirror shots where it's like maybe like a full 180 like in front of a mirror and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's John Wick, so there's a lot of action. It's pretty much what you're getting.
Yeah.
I watched Frost Nixon.
I remember, what's funny about that is that I remember that, I might be wrong on this, but I remember that being like number 1 or 2 on my list when I used to do that like back a few years ago.
Yeah.
Frost Nixon was on my like number 1 on my list, like first ones I saw of the year.
It came out in 2008.
Yeah. Wow, 2008.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
It didn't feel like that long ago.
Yeah.
Like today, I heard the Theory of Everything came out in 2014, which
That's weird.
it doesn't seem like that long ago. But it was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. Frost Nixon, and it's pretty good. It's got Clint Howard in it because it's a Ron Howard movie, so Clint Howard has to be in there somewhere. Michael Sheen plays the part of the television host who doesn't really know a lot really well, and he just does kind of a lot of smiling and nodding and doing all that. But it's like, would it be better with Charlie Sheen?
No.
And I think it would be.
Oh, really? All right. I don't remember that character too well.
Well, he's the main character.
Frost Nixon, the main guy who's doing the
Frost.
interview. Okay, he's Frost.
Yeah.
That's Michael Sheen?
That's Michael Sheen, yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of Michael Sheen, to be honest. I knew who the actor. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just knew Charlie Sheen and his dad.
Yeah.
Right, he's not related to Charlie Sheen.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at something.
It's a different.
I'm
lesson.
sorry. This is what you would call an e-break.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's really good. The Nixon stuff is interesting. I read up on it. It's not super accurate.
Oh, no. Also, I kind of was distracted because I don't think that guy looks like Nixon at all.
He looks like a cartoon version of Nixon.
Yeah.
He looks like someone recreated Nixon from the way The Simpsons depicted Nixon. and then they kind of backward engineered it.
Also, I think that guy though, he portrayed Nixon in like a bunch of like plays and stuff. So like,
Right.
he was
Yeah,
a professional Nixon actor.
It was,
I guess.
It was from a play.
Yeah.
Originally, and
Exactly.
they pulled him from the play, I believe. I saw All the Money in the World.
Yes.
Which has been nominated for a bunch of things. I was kind of interested. There's no Kevin Spacey, Christopher Plummer in, and that movie is trash. That movie's really, really bad. It's super
generic.
No, it's not generic. There's Christopher Plummer's character is just kind of evil. It's one of those stories that it's almost too weird to make an actual movie that's believable, because he's just like this billionaire who won't budge when his grandson gets kidnapped, and it's just because he just like wants his money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, in a movie you'd want to have a guy who, gives in a little or like has a reason for it, and it's not. He's just greedy, and that's kind of it.
So is the character so just nasty that maybe they should have just left Kevin Spacey in it because it would make us hate him even more?
It probably wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have been a big deal to keep Kevin Spacey in it. There are a few times where you can see Kevin Spacey's fat head because they use the back of his head. They use those scenes instead of Christopher Plummer's. But for the most part, Christopher Plummer kind of feels like he's in a different movie, and I wonder if that's because I knew that it was reshot in 9 days or whatever. And when I first saw that they replaced it, I kind of figured, oh, he's maybe in like 1 or 2 scenes, actually, so it'd be easy to do. He's throughout the movie, so it's a super crazy undertaking that they did it.
Was it worth it? I mean, it doesn't sound like it was worth even doing that.
I don't think it was. Yeah. He was fine. Michelle Williams is pretty good in it, but she's doing most of her stuff with Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg is as flat as any.
When did he start becoming a bad actor? Or has he always kind of been a bad actor?
I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he needs good directors to bounce stuff off of him.
Because he was good in the Fighter. He was in the Fighter, right?
Yeah, he was in the Fighter.
He was good in that.
He was good in the Fighter. He's good in Pain and Gain, in Departed. In Ted, he's fantastic. I think if directors kind of give him a direction to kind of like be wacky and weird,
I guess Departed.
He's
You said The
fine.
Departed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great in that. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, if they kind of let him play up and be big, that's fine. But if he has to play straight, it's
not great.
It doesn't work very well.
Mm-hmm.
The best actor in the movie is probably one of the kidnappers. I think his character is the most interesting.
So did you have like Stockholm syndrome then? It sounds like it.
He kind of has the opposite.
No, I mean where you fell in love with the captor.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't my captor this time. Maybe, hopefully, someday.
Did you know Beauty and the Beast is all about Stockholm syndrome?
It is.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how this movie got nominated for anything. And I went and I read reviews after I saw it, and people did not watch the same movie I did, I don't think.
Well, I think that's a lot of things this year, I feel like. Like a Wonder Woman or other movies this year. It seems like this year is the year of divisive movies.
But I could see how people enjoyed
even
Wonder Woman.
3 Billboards was like divisive.
Oh, we can get into that.
Right.
I think Wonder Woman was fine. I just don't. I think it was way overhyped.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but it was definitely.
I think this is a bad movie.
This is just a bad movie. Okay.
Even 3 Billboards, I don't think was a bad movie. I think there's just like a lot of weird stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, there's just so much weird stuff that's just kind of really bad. And I don't think Ridley Scott's a good director.
Yeah, he might be losing his touch. Maybe. I don't know. That happens to a lot of directors. That's why that's why I love Martin Scorsese so much, because it seems like throughout time most directors kind of, even like Spielberg's kind of lost his thing somewhat. He doesn't make like these humongous big must-see movies anymore. I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, they're must-see, but they're not like They're not like E.T. and Schindler's List anymore. It's more just okay. But like Scorsese, I feel like has kind of kept that like A+ level stuff, even at his advanced age. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a volume thing as well. Spielberg works on a lot more
yes,
stuff.
that too. Exactly. Yeah.
I also saw The Lost City of Zed.
Yeah.
Which I think probably should have been nominated for more stuff. It's really cool. There's kind of like a Apocalypse Now feel to it when they're in the jungle.
I'm interested already.
And then there's like a war section, and then there's stuff at home, and he has to. The whole thing, he's not sure if it's worth leaving his family and kids to go on all these adventures to search for this city that may or may not exist.
Okay.
In the post-credits, or not even before the credits, but after the movie ends, they kind of say what happens, and it kind of undercuts the movie,
Sure.
I think, because it's kind of the whole thing is about, is it worth it? Is it this? And then they kind of spoil things.
I could kind of already see where it's going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie Hunnam is the main guy in it, and they wanted Brad Pitt initially, but they got Charlie Hunnam, and he looks exactly like Brad Pitt. Like, they have him with, like, the Brad Pitt haircut, the Brad Pitt goatee that he had, and a bunch of stuff.
He's always sticking things in his mouth like Brad Pitt does in his movies.
Yeah, always sticking those things in his mouth.
Well, you know that
right, he's eating.
Do you think he decided, because I think they're working on a World War Z sequel, so do you think he was like, I can't be in all of the Z movies?
Yeah.
I can't dominate the Z movies. One thing, they never played Jungle Boogie once. It's like, if you have a movie where the boys are coming back in town, you gotta play the boys are back in town. If you're in the jungle, just play Jungle Boogie.
What do they play at the end of Jungle Book?
Opportunity.
Welcome to the Jungle. That's what they played it, yeah.
In Jumanji.
Jumanji, let's say Jumanji, yeah.
Right.
Welcome to the jungle.
And then,
it's like when you have a movie about a bunch of kids doing bad things, you gotta play Bad to the Bone.
Right, exactly.
Bad.
Yeah. They're bad to the bone, especially if it's a skeleton who's doing a bad thing. Or if it's
dogs, that's even better.
Yeah.
Because they love bones.
They do love
bad
bones.
to the bone. They're getting mud everywhere, making a ruckus. Bad to the bone.
Yeah. And
write that down, Spencer. That's a movie idea.
When Shrek's running around and not caring about his damn reputation.
You play All-Star.
His bad reputation.
You play All-Star.
You play All-Star, yes. Last night I watched Hoosiers.
Yeah, I saw that. That was just like a kick in the nuts to how many movies you watched this last few days. I feel like
I haven't
watched one more.
I haven't watched a lot of sports movies, like the classic sports movies. I watched a ton of like kids sports movies.
I was thinking about sports movies the other day, but keep going. I was maybe I shouldn't have interrupted you.
No, you're
I apologize.
fine.
No, I was thinking like, are there really any? What are good sports movies mediocre movies? Like, is there any like universal? This is an amazing film.
Raging
regardless.
Bull?
Yeah.
I don't even call that a sports movie.
You wouldn't?
I
mean, it's
an individual sport movie. I mean, but that's more of I guess that is a sports movie.
That's why boxing is
you have
the biggest
the individual.
Yes.
So like that Rocky $1 Million Baby. It's very easy to follow the individual.
I think so. I think the
Southpaw.
I think that's why you don't get many good football movies, is because football is such a team sport. There's not really any kind of individualism in football except for like the quarterback, but because it's just such a, and so you get like Remember the Titans and Varsity Blues, but those aren't, I wouldn't call those like masterpieces of cinema.
Right, but I think you can call those better than mediocre movies.
Yes,
right.
yes. Like I think sports movies are better than video game movies, or some other kinds of genre movies, but I think maybe it's just because I have to hear SB Nation and they just love to freaking quote every single effing sports movie ever made. And so I just don't think they're like...
when you have to dedicate like a pretty good chunk of screen time to like people playing football, that's time that you can't spend actually like developing characters.
Right. Anyway, I'm sorry, Adam.
No worries. So Hoosiers, 1986.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the high school kids in this movie have full chest hair.
Sure.
They're very much grown men.
Yeah. I love that.
And
times were different.
Yeah.
And
men were men back then.
Yeah. Gene Hackman is the coach, and you know, that's the role, and it's like very much a dad movie where he goes and he's the one who's leading these group of young men,
young white basketball players.
He's not a good coach.
No.
Like tactically,
he does zero tactics except for in the first game where he makes them pass the ball 4 times before shooting. Every single possession.
Bounce passes, right?
Well, think about this.
Not bounce passes.
Like when Heisman was like inventing the rules of football, like that was like, we can pass the ball forward, or
right.
Like these ideas that sounds silly now, but passing the ball 4 times, pretty smart back then.
Well, he just didn't want people jacking up shots, and he wanted to set a tone that he was in charge.
Oh,
but
he
basically
would hate the modern game.
Oh, for sure. All the ISO, he's not about ISO. It's about team basketball. But also, every big decision that's made in the movie is made by someone else. Mm-hmm. So tactically, he has like a drunk assistant coach who draws up a winning play against someone else. In the final scene of the movie, he's like, look, they're all going to think that we're going to pass it to Jimmy. And so let's get it to somebody else. And then everyone on the team's like, no, let's pass the ball to Jimmy. And they're like,
Jimmy's
and he's
really
like,
good.
Yeah, and he's like, okay. And then Jimmy makes the shot.
Wasn't Hoosiers based on a real story?
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Gosh, man, I almost want to watch this.
Yeah, I
just
kind of
to
want to
watch
watch it now.
like the subpar coaching.
Yeah,
it's like
Kidding.
the movie that all cheesy kind of sports movie genre stuff is based on, essentially. So it is about as cheesy as it gets, I would say. Let's see. And then I saw Jumanji.
Yeah. You want to talk about that now or later?
We can talk about Jumanji now.
Okay. Did you want to see if Spencer could guess the plot of Jumanji?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So we saw Jumanji starring The Rock,
So yeah,
Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and a woman.
A woman
who is not addressed ever.
Karen Gillan.
Right. Gillan, I believe.
Gillan?
I think. But
Okay.
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I somehow never saw a trailer for Jumanji. Had all of the right intentions. I intended to see Jumanji, but I didn't. So instead, I'm going to try to just guess what I think the plot to Jumanji is.
Great.
So to help myself, I looked up the cast and their characters' names.
Okay.
So Jumanji, starring The Rock as Spencer, Kevin Hart as Fridge,
Yes.
Jack Black as Bethany, and Karen Gillan as Martha.
Yeah.
So The Rock's character is Spencer, so he's definitely the cool one. The Rock auditioned for the role of Fridge, but they liked him so much they gave him the lead. Hart wears a prosthetic bodysuit to be the same size as The Rock, who had originally auditioned for Fridge.
Right.
Clearly should probably be a big person.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black as Martha is just a continuation of his role as Shallow Hal. He is now living as a fat woman, so he can truly empathize. And Spencer runs a shoe factory. So we're
what
doing,
made you think Spencer ran a shoe factory?
because that was the factory that Robin Williams' dad ran.
Oh, right.
Yes,
in the
yes,
original
yes, yes.
Jumanji. So I'm figuring,
they're going to have some little crossovers.
Yeah. So we're doing Jumanji, but it's 2017. So we're going to do video games. Spencer, Fridge, and Bethany and Martha are all parents whose kids have gone missing. Spencer recalls his son saying something about going over to his friend's house to partake in a Jumanji LAN party, whatever that means. Spencer shares this revelation on Nextdoor, and the 4 parents meet up to discuss. They boot up Bethany's son's Super Gamecast, and enter a cheat code they find scrawled on a piece of paper next to some empty bags of Doritos. Instantly, the parents are zapped into the game.
Oh, no.
They spend the next hour and a half encountering numerous monsters, most of which are 14-year-old boys who have had sex with their moms, all in search of their lost children.
So let's see how close would we rate him?
He got sucked into the video game part.
Yeah,
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's about it.
yeah.
No 14-year-old boys.
Well, there are technically. I mean,
who have
no, none of them had sex with their mom. No,
Not one had sex with their mom.
well,
I don't think you see a mom in the movie.
No, I don't think you do.
I tried.
Oh no, his mom comes in and tells him that he needs to wash
You're
his
right,
hands.
You're right. He needs to wash his hands and stuff.
Bring a raincoat or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
That did look like Austin's raincoat.
I still want to see this, so don't spoil it too much. I mean, talk about it.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't think it's a movie that really matters.
Well, we'll
if
get
you
into the
spoilers.
plot that is included in the trailer.
Yeah.
I would say.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a bunch of teenage kids. They get detention.
They get the one kid's just a big video game nerd, and this is by Sony, so he just fucking loves Uncharted and The Last Guardian. I mean, I love those games. I don't think you can find a lot of people with a lot of 16-year-old boys with Uncharted posters, honestly. I mean, it's kind of funny to see, like, because it's by Sony, so
It's a
put
grown-ups video game.
I mean, you know what? Like, The Last Guardian, it's weird. It's just not a game that you're going to have 100 posters for.
Isn't The Last Guardian that owl movie?
No, but you're close. It's a game
the owl.
by a very Japanese studio. They did these two very Japanese games, and this game, The Last Guardian, was announced in, like, 2005 and didn't come out until, like, last year. It was, like, one of those, like, marred in development. They thought it was never going to come out. Finally came out last year. It was kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of a funny Sony plug to put those. That and Uncharted, which I love, but you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go on with the plot.
Well, so actually the movie opens up with a kid in the 90s. It's 96. His dad finds the board game Jumanji. It's in the sand.
That's right where they left it.
Right.
It's 96
at the end of
the film was in 95, right?
96, 95, 96. I mean, it's
supposed to be at the end.
It's
of
a
the
weird. I thought they didn't need to totally make it a direct sequel, but I kind of, in a weird way, appreciate they did. Like, it was kind of. You didn't have to do it at all.
I think this movie could easily have not had Jumanji in it.
100%.
Because they take the board game home, and the dad gives it to his son who's playing video games, and he's like, "Board games? No one play these anymore."
No one.
And he throws it to his side, and then the game starts shaking and stuff, and then he opens it up, and it's a game cartridge of Jumanji.
It looks like a Game Boy Advance cartridge too.
Oh, you don't want to play me? Watch this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it
now
changes
I'm a cartridge
into a game.
So stupid.
Clever
I was like,
game.
I was squirming in my chair at that point because I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah. So then they're in detention, and they find this old game, and they get sucked in to Jumanji, and then they become the characters.
Yeah.
So the nerdy kid becomes the Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The Fridge, why would they name him Fridge when Refrigerator Perry is like already a football player that exists? You could have named any other piece of hardware and not infringed on the Perry estate, unless this person who wrote it is from Chicago.
They probably,
or whatever.
yeah.
So the big football player is Kevin Hart.
Of course.
The hot girl who only Instagrams all the time. And there's some really good talking exactly like girls talk about Instagram in this movie. They nail it. It's so
dude,
perfect.
I tell you, I would think this movie was written by high schoolers. How well they nail the high school.
Exactly.
It's like I'm talking to my little sister. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're just so great at it.
So she becomes Jack Black, and then the nerdy girl becomes the hot
girl.
Wait,
girl.
so Jack Black actually is a female.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yes.
Okay, I was so confused by Bethany.
Right.
Well, they kind of play with that because the girl picks the girl character because and she thinks it's the girl character, but it's just his name is like
Shelley.
Yeah, Shelley. Yeah,
and it says like curvy cartographer.
Yeah.
And she thinks curvy means boobies, but it really means
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
one continuous curve.
Now,
right.
It's hard for me to it's hard for me to be too hard on it because it is a kids movie.
Now,
I get it.
Is it a kids movie?
I think it is.
What is this movie rated?
PG-13, right?
It's
I guess it's
PG-13.
PG-13. You're right.
Which blew my mind after I looked it up. The only thing that in theaters made me freak out was Kevin Hart was cursing A lot.
Yeah.
He said all of them up to shit.
Yeah.
Well, like when The Rock was promoting Baywatch, he was like lauding it as they don't make R-rated comedy flicks anymore, like using that as a selling point. So I wonder if they're like, all right, we're gonna do this PG, and The Rock's like, no, I do edgy comedies.
Right. Exactly. And The Rock, it feels like The Rock had a lot of creative control over his character, because not only does he look like The Rock, but he is a doctor, and so he's super smart doctor. And then at one point they have him like pull up their strengths and weaknesses as characters, and his weaknesses are none.
It felt like it was written by a person who had only like somewhat knowledge of what video games were, and then he talked to his like 15-year-old son one day, and he's like, "Okay, I know what video games are now."
And then he talked to The Rock, and The Rock was like,
actually, no,
"I'm cool and the best." And
well, that's why he picked the name Spencer.
Right, of course,
exactly.
Also, there's a decent amount of kind of like stunt work in this movie. Where do you find a stuntman for The Rock?
I'm sure there's a bunch of built dudes.
Try to find a 6'4", 280 built guy who can drive a motorcycle up a mountain.
Like you can't even use Vin Diesel.
No,
because Vin Diesel is only like 6'1".
Yeah, I know. He's a shorty.
Yeah, I don't know.
The weird thing for me is I get why, because it's Jack Black. He's trying to be funny in Jack Black, but why did he have a different voice when everyone else had the same voice, like the voice of that actor? Why did Jack Black have to
have his affectation?
Yes.
To give away that he's a female, and so he can say funny things about his penis over and over again.
Wait, Jack Black speaks with kind of like
Jack
a lady
Black
voice?
Is pretty
He's
much
like,
Bernie.
Oh my God, I don't even, why am I doing this?
Okay.
And then at one point he gets a boner.
It's like The Hot Chick.
Is there
like the movie The Hot Chick?
Yeah.
Like, is there a sex scene?
No. But they did have Nathan Drake come in at one point. Here's the thing: is like I guess just playing video games. I felt like there are multiple times where they're gonna actually make it about a video game, and they didn't. There was one time where they mentioned cake. I thought it was gonna be about Portal, but no, it was just a stupid Kevin Hart joke.
So does this count as the Uncharted movie?
Hell, man, it could. Kind of. I mean, Indiana Jones and National Treasure are pretty much the Uncharted movie, but I mean, I guess there's a character that I thought was like, oh, this is supposed to be Nathan Drake, but it wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
It was Nick Jonas, though.
Yeah. Oh, it was Nick Jonas?
All right.
Okay. All right. I know who that was.
And then in the only tie-in to the old one, besides finding
Alan Parrish,
besides finding the game, he's like, yeah, I've been living in this little house that was built for a while, and there's just a carving that says Alan Parrish was here.
I didn't get why they had like
margaritas.
So
it is still the same world.
Yes.
Okay.
They're establishing that it's the same world, but
yeah, it was.
There's no reason.
And look. I'm not gonna try to be like this isn't accurate to the book or the movie, and this isn't. I just felt like the original movie though had sort of a darkness to it, you know.
And there, yeah, but
whereas this didn't have that whatsoever.
No, it didn't have that, and also you're against humans for most of it. Where Jumanji is,
it was against the elements.
Kind of like you're going against animals.
That was
being
the whole
brought in.
Yeah,
to your thing, and this
was there like an end credits for in memory of Robin Williams?
No, there should.
Nothing.
Didn't see it.
I mean, I know it's been like I guess a couple of years.
Dude, it has been long enough. Hell, he's a fucking national treasure. You can't. 100 years from now, there needs to be memorials for him. I'm sorry, that's my thing on.
You want to wait 100 years before?
No, I mean like there needs to be
soon.
whenever. Yeah, you need to keep remembering Robin Williams Spencer.
Yep, I do every time I get my disposable cameras developed.
So Trey,
it's like 2-hour photo or something.
Oh, okay.
Trey, out of 20 years stuck in a video game, what do you rate Jumanji?
Wait, in this scenario, would 20 be a bad score because you're stuck in a video game for that long?
Well, what video game?
No, 20 and 20.
Okay.
20 years stuck in Jumanji.
I'll give it a 10 out of 20.
Really?
It's like half, two and what's it,
Man.
2.5 stars.
I give it a 5 out of 20.
Really?
Oh no!
It's fine. I don't know.
I have a hard
it's super
time being
generic.
too hard on it, just because it's. I guess you know what. Yeah, I'll give it 5 out of 20. Actually,
Oh, okay.
Trey,
I think about the
just
video
my
game.
exact score.
I think about no. You know what? I give it 0 out of 20.
Whoa.
Fuck it.
Whoa, Trey!
Fuck
Trey.
both of you.
Trey, are you just giving up on movies now?
I'm giving up on movies. Look, I don't want to be the guy who's like, that's not how video games work, but I swear to God, it was not. Like, it made me want to watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Well, it's not a
now
video
you're
game movie.
so negative.
Well, no, it is, because they're stuck in a video game and they keep talking about video game things like NPCs, and they talk about like stats and levels, like the level. No, if this was an actual video game, it would be like an open world thing, and there would be parts of them. I thought that's what they're going to be doing, is parts of the map would open up. No, it was just this. Hey, I learned about video games in 2000, and that's my whole knowledge of it. And again, I don't want to be too hard on it because it's a fucking kids movie, even though it's rated PG-13. It's for young boys, but it's just not very good. And like, if you wanted to make a movie about being sucked in a video game, actually maybe get someone who plays video games and knows how video games work in 2017, 2018. That's just my thing.
So. If this is a 0 out of 20, this is your least favorite movie you've ever reviewed?
To be honest, I'm giving it 10 out of 20, and that's generous.
back to 10 out of 20.
Look, I don't want to.
That's fine. You can give it 10 out of 20.
No, you give it whatever you want, but it's just funny to say, all right, yeah, no, I'll give it a 5. You know what? F it. 0 out of 20. But really.
10 out of 20.
But really, 7 out of 20.
Okay, 7 out of 20.
All right, this is final answer.
7 out of 20.
Okay.
Locking it in.
All right. Yeah, and I gave it a 5. So I also watched Bright.
Yes.
The
Let's
Netflix movie.
do Bright after. Is that the last one you got?
That's the last one I have.
Let me, since that is a bet payoff, let me just do my last movie I saw. I only saw 2 movies. Actually, I did watch some more of Black Mirror.
Okay.
I didn't hate the
Did you finish
Google
it?
Dog. No, I didn't finish the last episode.
Okay.
I didn't hate the Google Dog one as much as it seemed like you did.
It just doesn't have a plot.
No, it doesn't.
Like it's fine, but it's a chase scene.
Mad
That's
Max.
all it is.
I thought, it was like it was basically like black and white Mad Max on foot, but with a lot less intrigue. But it was still like cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's like a cool idea, but it's like they had this idea, they're like, I don't know how to turn this into an actual story.
Yeah, and it does a cool job at like world building, like in a very micro scale too.
Yeah.
The whole show does. But I watched Spotlight last night.
Okay, how did you like Spotlight?
Good God, dude, it was freaking tough, especially when they're talking to like the 2 people who are telling them about like their experiences.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and here's the thing, like when I was in, no, this isn't that kind of story. When I was in like middle school, when I was in like middle school, I kind of felt like I was kind of weird because movies didn't affect me, like, you know, like they should.
Didn't have the emotional pull.
But I feel like I might just be getting older, and I have more of that now, where things bother me more, like that. That bothered me. The movie is fantastic. Again, I really like these kinds of movies, and I kind of want to try to find more sort of newsroom, the kind of more research-based movies, because I really enjoy them. I really enjoyed All the President's Men. I enjoyed Zodiac. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fantastic. I think Michael Keaton is a very underrated actor. I think he's great, especially in his older age. He's kind of got that kind of gruffness to him now.
Yeah.
You know, he's really good.
I thought Michael Keaton was really good. I think Mark Ruffalo was really good.
I thought he had a weird... I didn't like his accent, but I thought he was good. I always like Ruffalo.
And then Rachel McAdams.
Fucking yes, Rachel McAdams. Hell yeah. She was in that. She was in that so hard.
Yeah, she was.
Anyway, it was a great movie. I recommend seeing it if you haven't. That won Best Picture. In 2015?
I think so. Yeah. I think so, yeah.
It won after Birdman. I remember. It was the year after Birdman.
Yes.
It was a weird one because I didn't really... It was The Revenant was up against that. And I just didn't hear about that until it won. Like, really.
And then there was another one that year, and I feel like Spotlight was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise. I thought it's a very well done... If you like movies like All the President's Men and Zodiac, more All the President's Men than Zodiac. I mean, it's a very, very fantastic movie. It's much less about the characters than Zodiac is. It's more All the President's Men, where it's about the case.
Yes.
Yeah. Really good.
Okay. Spencer?
Yeah, okay. I only watched 3 movies this week. I watched Dogtooth.
Oh, you watched Dogtooth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yorgo Lanthimos, I guess I don't know. I can't remember if it's his first movie.
I think
It's not his
first
one,
movie.
but this was the one that got him acclaim in the U.S.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Greek movie.
Yeah, so it's definitely bizarre, really interesting. It's in Greek, and so it's fun to watch it, read it, and hear it in Greek, which is obviously his first language. It is a little bit so much of what the appeal of his movies is the dialogue, and reading it is a little bit different, but there are definitely some scenes where it really benefits the story, or just like the scene, it being in Greek and then you reading it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing that, and that's actually, we're going to recommend a movie for each other podcaster to watch this week, and I think you were already planning on watching it, but we have.
Yeah, what's the premise of that exactly?
So the premise is basically
a dog with a tooth.
Yes. No, so basically it's these super protective, strange parents in Greece who have 2 daughters and a son, and they basically lock them like within the confines of their homestead. So they go out in the yard and they're in the house, and raise them up like learning like words are defined incorrectly.
Oh wow.
Just weird rules about you can't leave the house,
like
or this will happen. And just it's just basically that. Just it's kind of a it's looking at how could these children, these kids, react as they grow up in this type of household.
Yeah.
And it's
everything I've heard about, because I went and I was reading a bunch of criticisms of Killing of a Sacred Deer to try to figure out why people didn't like it as much. And a lot of people were saying that Dogtooth and The Lobster had a lot more, like there's a story that they're telling on the surface, but it's, a metaphor for this. Yeah. And that Killing of the Sacred Deer didn't have that, but Dogtooth and The Lobster had really strong like sub themes.
Yeah, I felt like Killing of a Sacred Deer was just a horror film.
Basically.
Disguised as a weird ass, thing on the surface, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of have the opposite reaction, where I liked Dogtooth, but Sacred Deer is still much better. It's still a much better story, even if it doesn't have the same like subtext.
Yeah.
So recommend seeing that. We also watched Fish Tank, which is it's just like it's like really small. It's like exactly. It's partially inspired. I
meant to say Tank Girl, but that was a funnier line. So
yeah. I don't know how you jump from Fish Tank to is it like Tub Girl?
Tank Girl's like an 80s. Yeah, I know. Tank Girl's like an 80s post-apocalyptic movie.
That's A to C thinking.
Yeah. Yay! He's learning.
Oh yeah. So no, it's basically about it's set in like Essex or something in England. 15-year-old, really fiery girl who's got a really rough upbringing, kind of is almost like swooned by her, or like her mom, who's a total deadbeat, brings in a new boyfriend, and kind of the way that she interacts with him and that story. It's almost a story about nothing, but it's a story about a relationship between a 15-year-old girl and her mom's boyfriend. And it's good. It's it's one of those ones where it does make you feel shitty watching it. So it's hard to like really recommend it.
Right.
But it is really well done, and it's an interesting story. And then
I guess I'll recommend Spotlight. Yeah, that'll be my recommendation. Sorry to kind of butt in.
Well, but we've already watched Spotlight, right?
Oh, for you guys. Okay, I'll figure out something then. I thought it was for the audience. Okay.
For the audience. I didn't. Yeah, I don't. I see whatever you want to see, but if you want to watch, these are both good if you're interested in watching these. And then Lexi and I saw Call Me by Your Name. In theaters, and it's very good.
I got 2 questions. My main hang up on this movie is the age difference. Is that really that notice.
I mean, yes,
because I feel
it's
like
not...
I feel like people give Woody Allen crap for that, and yeah, those movies are kind of weird where it's a 40-year-old dude and an 18-year-old girl.
Yeah, I mean, they also give him crap for marrying his
that too. Which
daughter.
Because I rack in my brain, like, should I have a problem with this? And it's like, well, I do have a problem with movies where there's like an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old and a 40-year-old. I find that a little odd.
I would say no, because
they're supposed to be like 7 years apart.
It's like 17
7 years?
and 24-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even though Armie
That's not
Hammer
that-
is very clearly
40.
much older.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's like 7 years, that's not.
Right.
I thought it was like 20 years or something.
And also in Italy, the age of consent is 16, and they're
Okay.
in Italy during it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Yeah, so that part's not weird.
Yeah.
And none of it is. I mean,
I heard second hang up. I heard there was a scene where I think the kid poops, and then the other guy wants to poop on top of his poop. Is that a real scene?
What?
I saw that on Twitter. Is that a real scene, or was that a fake tweet?
You've been duped.
I've been duped.
You have been so duped. There is
That's
no
not a real scene.
Also, why would that hold you up?
I just thought it was something funny. It wasn't a real hold up. I thought it was just funny. I thought that was a real scene. There's no poop on top of poops.
No. That's like,
good
do
to
you
know.
think you were willing to believe that that's something that gay guys do?
No, just I thought that'd be something some artsy movie would do. Like, look how
Why
look how
is that
full we are.
artsy?
I don't
What
know.
is your? Have you ever seen?
Let me find this tweet. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay.
That's in the
book. Okay, maybe that's what she was talking about. Okay. You see, I'm not totally wrong, Lexi.
So
said I'm
maybe
right.
that is something gay guys do. Well, I can assure you, there is no poop on top of poop scenes in the movie.
Okay. Yeah. Is anyone talking about the scene in Call Me by Your Name where one of them poops and the other says, "Wait, I want to look," and then poops on the other dude's poop while they kiss? That's Abby Russell. She's verified. It's a real account.
No, that's not in the movie.
That's not in
Okay.
the movie
All right.
at all. There is some weird scenes.
Yeah.
But like none of their interactions or their like love story, none of that is weird.
Okay.
There are things that the characters do that's like, oh, it's strange.
Yeah.
But their feelings towards each other and the way that their relationship grows is
So I
not
guess
weird.
the main thing was the age thing. I guess that's just. I think it was the criticism more about how old Armie Hammer was rather than the character.
How old is Armie Hammer
I don't know.
actually? Because he's
I
not
can look it up
so
while you talk
old.
about it.
I think that was my only hang up. But if it's 7
He's-
years, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Timothée Chalamet's performance is great.
Mm-hmm.
He's
So good.
he's very good. There is a scene at the very, very end, the very last scene, that is just insane. The kid is just so talented.
Yeah.
Armie Hammer's 31.
Okay.
Okay.
And Armie Hammer is incredibly handsome and charming, but not a super talented actor.
Uh-huh.
He has the exact same voice as John Hamm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm John Hamm. It just sounded like Fernando there.
He did well, but yeah, his
he's
performance
fine.
was a little stiff. I think that was that's a good way of putting it. That's
Mm-hmm.
and then the kid's parents, the father. There's a big scene with Timothy, with Elio and his father, and his father is fantastic.
Yeah,
The guy who
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't nominated for anything at the Golden Globes. I don't know.
He doesn't have
He
enough
doesn't-
lines in the movie.
But generally, for those kind of things, you just kind of submit one scene, and you can get a nomination. I don't know.
I don't think he will. I think. I mean, he's an important part of the story, but when like
definitely-
Armie Hammer is considered like the supporting candidate.
Yes.
And he's obviously in the movie a lot more than the father. But definitely recommend watching it. It's not my favorite movie of the year, but it was definitely very good.
My thing when I watched it, it was just like so relaxing.
Relaxing.
Just being it's very sunny, and they're hanging out in the river.
It makes me want to go to northern Italy like crazy.
And then like the music and just like it seems like just hanging out there for a summer would be the best time.
We should do a show trip. It's GamesCast, FilmsCast.
Yeah, we're going to go back to 1983.
Call me by your podcast.
Hey. Yeah. Okay. So.
Right. Second question. Why is it called Call Me by Your Name?
You can see that in Lexi might be able to explain the meaning of why they do this because she read the book. But there's a scene where they're both kind of just embracing each other, and Armie Hammer's character Oliver says, "You call me by your name, and I'll call you by mine." And so that carries throughout the movie, where they basically they refer to each other as their own name.
Yeah. So it'd be like me being like Adam to you, Trey.
I would call you Trey.
Yeah, and you would call me Trey.
Is that like in Arrested Development where Ben Stiller and Will Arnett wear each other's masks?
It's like they're like becoming one.
But it's really more like Spencer.
Right.
Spencer. But it's
I think in the
sexy.
movie it doesn't play as well as I think it would have on the page.
Is it like when Harry Potter and Voldemort kind of merge together when his scar burns?
Yes, it's
okay.
exactly.
It's
a lot like
okay.
The music is really good.
Yeah.
Timothy's character is like a precocious, like super genius kid who also like writes music, and then there's original music by Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah.
And it's just really whimsical and like finger picked guitars, and helps really set the mood throughout the movie.
Bunch of stuff.
All right.
Okay. So let's see. So do we want to do my Bright?
Yes. Bright.
Okay. So I watched Bright, and this is my review. Watched in 3 days by like 11 million people on Netflix.
Okay.
No, I watched it in one sitting. Fuck magic. Will Smith's character explains what I'd been thinking about for the past hour and 45 minutes. Takes a truly awful movie to get me to turn on a concept as interesting as magic, but here I am, hating it with every fiber of my being while watching Netflix's $90 million creation, Bright. The movie comes from the guy who directed Suicide Squad and the writer of Victor Frankenstein, Max Landis, whose writing can be described as part J.K. Rowling with an undercut, a pinch of vaping J.R.R. Tolkien, and a splash of Dr. Seuss.
Now, I like Max Landis, despite all the sexual allegations towards him right now. He did Chronicle, so I'm giving him Chronicle.
He's bad. This movie is bad. And a splash of Dr. Seuss, except instead of inventing a bunch of new words, he just says fuck a bunch. Eminem famously said, Will Smith don't have to cuss to sell records. Smith explained that he doesn't use profanity in his lyrics because his grandmother told him that intelligent people don't need to use those words to express themselves. There's no better way to know that this movie was written by an idiot. The F-bomb is dropped constantly, and it's never earned. I'm usually not one to complain about bad language, but there's a point when you're saying fuck so often, it totally loses any meaning or impact and just drags things down. If that's not enough to get your engines going, let's take a look at some of the lines that are actually in the movie. Fairy lives don't matter today. How many orcs are ballers? These people died so bad. As far as I can tell,
Wasn't there a line about Shrek in there?
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
As far as I can tell, a Bright came in, used the wand, and magicked everyone the fuck up.
Oh, they're called Brights?
Mm-hmm. I need you to take your fat Shrek-looking ass back home to your vehicle and drive the fuck home to Fiona.
It wouldn't. And now, I saw an interesting tweet by this guy named Ben Peck who said, in this world where Shrek is referenced, wouldn't Shrek just be like Songs of the South for that world?
Yeah. Concerning the magic wand that is central to the plot, the first thing we have to do is keep that away from the bad guys. I'm not getting in his head, man. I'm in his soul.
Yes.
And that is literal. That's not literal. That's supposed to be a metaphor. So he's not actually getting in anyone's soul, even though there's...
Is that something Brights can do, though?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you where the wand is. Oh. It's up your ass.
Oh!
Oh, boy. These are just a handful of quotes that are awful regardless of the context. But I assure you there are a million other lines from this movie that are clunky and terrible to hear in context.
So is this whole movie just like Rihanna's lines from Battleship?
Kinda. Jacoby explains that being the first orc cop is, and how his badge means more to him than the air he breathes.
So he's Joel Edgerton's character is an orc. That's
cop.
not a bright.
No, a bright is a very special kind of person that's in a prophecy, and there's just like a whole bunch of kind of just wordy backstory.
Why is this sort of like True Blood, where they kind of like come out like as like orcs, like there's like a secret society of orcs, or is this just like
orcs are living in society?
Like how do they come to society?
Orcs are black people.
Whoa, okay.
Spoiler, but that's what it is.
I mean, okay, no, I understand that, but like, I'm saying, how did they?
They just always
been there?
Nah, there's no explanation about it.
So So this is, I mean, it's so like heavy-handedly about like the relationship between Black America and police officers, and that's a real thing that there should be movies about. So why did they have to make it about orcs? And they didn't replace white people with anything.
Well, I mean, because
they replaced it with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, right. They replaced him with a black guy.
All humans are.
Which that's a
white
bit
people,
problematic, because I don't think if tomorrow a whole bunch of orcs show up that we're gonna be like, okay, black people, we're on the same side.
Well, I mean,
now.
it's trying to be District 9.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not District 9.
But
you're
it's
still
not
gonna have
good.
racism towards other, nationalities, even if there's another nationality that comes in. I think.
Will Smith's ward is equally angry at everyone all the time, ranging from being inconvenienced by having to listen to orcish music to murdering 4 fellow cops, just kind of because. I know what you're thinking. Adam, there surely isn't an insane clown posse-style group of orcs in this movie, is there? Oh, certainly there is, dear listener. Wow. Surely at the end of the movie, there's not a way too long story recapping all of the events that we just watched. Oh, don't worry, there is. The Joe Rogan experience can't exist in this world, can it? As a matter of fact, it can. No matter how fantastical you may want your world to be, there are some lines you just can't cross. Should you watch this movie? I guess there is a situation where I would watch it. There's a lot of shiny things. So I guess my suggestion is to put it on in a room while you're doing something, like folding laundry or playing Russian roulette.
Wow. You said suicide.
It's bad.
I love Adam's little additorials. Adamtorials, going to call them. Yeah. Or fullatorials.
So there you go. There's my payoff for losing our bet.
So really, we were double winners because we didn't have to watch that, and we got to listen to your funny review.
Yeah.
No, it's bad. So if you haven't, there's 3 wands, and they have to get the wands.
Gotta get the elder wand.
But there's only one.
There's
only one wand in it, and only brights can touch the wand. And
they're making another one.
Yeah. Yep. Because this was about one wand. There's 2 other wands out there.
You gotta get the invisibility cloak. You gotta get the stone, and you gotta get the wand, the elder wand, and those make up the Deathly Hallows, Spencer.
It's bad. I cannot. There's action scenes that you can watch, but all the stuff with them talking is so bad, and Will Smith is just kind of like angry throughout the whole movie, and it doesn't really make sense, and it's just convoluted, and it looks like Suicide Squad, and it's just. Ugh.
See, what I love about this movie that I haven't seen yet is. I feel like there's so much of like blogs and everything that are out there, like movie blogs and stuff. So much of it is about like hating movies that are popular, finding what's wrong with movies that are popular. Where with this movie, it's so unanimously bad. You see so many blog posts that are like, actually, it's pretty
right.
Like
it's not as bad as you may think.
So, but like I didn't read any of those blog posts. I was fully on board with it being terrible, and then hearing your what would be denouncement of it, it just really reaffirms my belief that those are maybe the dumbest blogs ever written.
Right. It's
Been
just
in-
You're
it's
always going to have
super
contrarians and people try.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say trying to get clicks, but you're going to have people try to, get people to read their stuff or watch their stuff and get
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah,
Like
when-
that's why I watched this one thing called Zero Punctuation, and he does video game reviews, and I swear to God he hates the video games he likes. And people like that stuff. People want to get angry. People want to. That's why you have Skip Bayless. You
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but when being contrarian means liking something,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that's when it's really fun.
All right. Nice review of the movie Bright, Adam. Let's go into some news.
All right. News time. Ridley Scott has an idea for a Blade Runner 2049 sequel.
Okay.
Ridley Scott is bad at making movies, and
Yeah.
I want him to stop, and I'm cool with Blade Runner being done.
Yeah, don't need to unless you want to just do it within the world. It has nothing to do with any of the characters. Just hey, we got this world and we want to make something
Right.
cool in this, cyberpunk universe.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
But I feel like they're going to have
Oh, of course they will.
the uprising
Yeah.
of all the...
Yeah.
They were kind of putting little trails in there for something.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar is curating the Black Panther soundtrack.
Okay.
That's excellent.
He released one track already. That's all right. It's fine.
Does he mention a lot of Iron Man and
Yeah,
other, Marvel characters?
he's just rapping about
yeah.
rapping
Sounds-
about comic books.
It sounds like the intro to how did this get made, where it's just
Right,
all right, I
just
have to
a
talk
list.
about this. Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I still won't see that, but
Oh wow! Spencer
I-
doesn't want to see
because
Black Panther. All
I
right.
don't watch
Movies with
superhero
black people in them?
movies.
So last time we talked about the Cloverfield God Particle movie, that there had
Yeah.
been no trailer, there had been no poster, nothing had ever come out, and we were like, oh, they're going to sneak this into theaters, and it's going to be a big surprise drop. Well, they pushed it back to April 20th.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
For
going up
20.
against Super Troopers too.
Yeah.
That's when Nomeo and Julie, or what is it?
Was it Nomeo or
it's
Sherlock Gnomes?
Sherlock
Gnomes
Gnomes.
is coming out, bro. Sherlock
yeah.
Gnomes
Get
and
freaking
Peter
toasted.
Rabbit. Can't
Oh.
wait for that pile
Wait.
of shit.
Wait, Sherlock Gnomes and Peter Rabbit come out on the same day?
No, I don't think so. I
That
think-
would be
Those were
insane.
those were the movies that we saw before Jumanji, which
Yeah.
made me think Jumanji was going to be a PG movie.
Oh yeah.
And then the only thing that made it not PG was Kevin Hart saying shit once, I think, and
Yeah.
maybe some guns.
some boobs.
They didn't
Some
even use
boobs
their
in there.
allotted F word.
They didn't use an F word.
No.
That would have been really cool, a Jumanji F bomb.
Yeah. So let's do box office stuff. Jumanji,
Yeah,
as we talked about, #1 at the box office.
We did it. We did
$36
it.
million.
We did it.
Ooh.
It's me and Adam. Pushed it over.
#2 was Insidious
Oh, I didn't take that. Who took that?
I think I did.
at $29 million. Well, we all picked Star Wars first.
Yeah, it's not. It's
And it's not. Star
people
Wars
aren't
was,
re-saying it.
Star Wars was third.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, your second choice was Molly's Game, which was
Ugh.
7th this week. So
I lose.
yeah, so you lost.
But we only way we play is you give point to winner though, right?
right.
Yeah.
So Jumanji, Insidious, Star Wars, then The Greatest Showman, Pitch Perfect 3, Ferdinand, Molly's Game, which goes down, and that's me. I won.
Oh, you won?
I won because I had Star Wars, Jumanji, Insidious, Molly's Game, Pitch Perfect 3, and then I had The Greatest Showman, and you had Hostels,
Okay.
which did not.
Was that in like 2 theaters or something?
It was in 75 or something.
It looks
like that.
cool, actually. I like a
Yeah.
good Western movie, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
You might see that.
So this week coming out, we have The Commuter, which is the Liam Neeson train
Gotta
movie.
save his
Yeah.
daughter again. She's up to no good.
He's got to kill somebody or else his wife's gonna
oh,
die
no.
on a train.
Didn't Liam Neeson say he was retired from action movies, then come back and say, I'm not retired because I like money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he said exactly that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Paddington 2,
Oh.
Yep. Third best movie of the year.
Proud Mary with Taraji P. Henson,
Nah.
The Post goes wide, and Phantom Thread expands to 20 more cities, including Dallas.
No one's going to see that.
So, should I start since I won? Is that how we should do this? We should probably establish some rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so the winner picks first.
We're not communists. We're not going to have the loser pick first, like the NFL draft.
God, those communist billionaires.
Man, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Jumanji again.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about that.
Trey, you did better than me, so you go.
Yeah, so you go next.
I'm gonna take Jumanji.
Okay. Spencer?
Jumanji.
Okay. So now from this, I'll take Paddington 2.
Paddington 2.
Is that you're questioning it or you're picking it?
Picking it.
Okay.
I was also going to pick Paddington 2.
I will take The Commuter.
I'll take Insidious.
Okay.
I'll take The Post.
Okay.
All right.
Wait. Yeah, it's opening wide.
It's wide, yeah.
I'm not going to fall for that one again.
And I hear Insidious isn't terrible.
The trailer looked all right from what I'd seen.
I hear it's an all right one of those movies.
All right. And so the biggest kind of news that came out was the Golden Globes.
Yeah, the Globes.
The Golden Globes. So, I say maybe do we go category by category?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go
Yeah.
through the winners.
Go through the winners.
Winners and losers.
Yeah. Animated movie was Coco.
Not Boss Baby.
Not Boss Baby, which I was surprised, not to cut you off, its title is The Boss Baby.
Really?
It's not
yeah, I know.
It's
one
not
of those
Boss
movies.
Baby.
Yeah.
It's The Boss Baby.
It's kind of like a Beastie Boy. It's the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
It can also just be Beastie Boys. You know, it's
like Shape of, I call it
either
Shape
or.
of, isn't it The Shape of Water? I
Yes.
just call Shape of Water, or I call it the fish fucking movie, Adam.
Right.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yes.
We all got Coco correct.
Okay, Coco.
No problem. Best screenplay went to 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. And this was the first time, I was kind of like, well, this is a good sign for them. None of us picked it.
No.
Yeah.
So
What did we pick?
you two picked Shape of Water, and I picked Lady Bird.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised. That's really weird.
Yeah. Best supporting actor in a motion picture was Sam Rockwell from 3 Billboards.
And people are mad
Because he's a mean boy.
Because people are pissed off about the success of 3 Billboards in general.
Right.
But people
are people mad?
Because one I don't think it was the best. I also agree it was not the best movie for all the things that it won, but for the story of a racist bad cop having a redemption story, but like
okay,
it being so easy for him to get redemption.
That's my question.
People are mad about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And none of us got that.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked 3 of the 5 people in the category did not get it. Best supporting actress in a motion picture went to Allison Janney.
Oh, we picked that.
Which
I picked.
You picked.
That,
I did not pick.
And Spencer and Trey did not.
I think I would have picked had I seen I, Tonya yet. So I will be better prepared for these Oscar picks.
I was listening to Bad Radio talk about the Golden Globes, because they're the best source for Golden Globes information.
Right.
Jake's such a film buff.
Mm-hmm.
Jake did bring up a good point that it was kind of weird that Tonya Harding was being like praised as a hero, and she did kind of kneecap a lady to get ahead.
Like Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah.
If you told her, like, hey, the story of you getting beat down before the Olympics is going to win in a comedy category 13 years from now.
Tonya Harding is going to be there and being praised as a hero. And
I think the big takeaway and one of the big takeaways from that movie is Tonya Harding was a victim as well. I mean, she was clearly like a crazy person and was a part of something that was horrific and could have completely destroyed someone's life. And she deserves to have, I mean, like, she made a terrible choice. So, like, the punishment, it fits the crime, but you can still feel bad for her.
Sure.
Because she herself had a terrible life.
But O.J. Simpson did what he did. I mean, are they going to bring O.J. Simpson up for O.J.
I think they're slightly different.
Slightly different?
Just a little bit.
All right.
Best performance by an actor in a comedy went to James Franco.
Yeah!
Nailed it. Finally.
Trey and Spencer got that right. I picked the dude from Get Out.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Who, he looked miserable
He
all
was
night.
not happy to be there.
Like, the jokes about him, he was not happy about it all. So James Franco went up and went to do his acceptance speech, and Tommy Wiseau went in to talk about it, and James blocked him.
Yeah, which I was re-listening to our when we picked our nominees, and I called it that if James Franco won, Tommy would be up there, and I did say Tommy would be speaking, and he would have.
He would have if they would
had he been allowed.
How do you feel about that? Because people were like really bashing Franco.
He was in the right.
Yeah,
it's not. Like,
it's not.
It's not his award. It's not Tommy's award.
No, not at all.
It's James Franco's award for playing Tommy.
Yeah,
and what James Franco did bringing him up there was a nice gesture.
That was a very nice gesture.
But it's his moment.
Yes.
So let him have his moment.
People were like, you wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for him. Well, yeah. Well, the guy who probably plays Hitler in a movie about Hitler wouldn't be there without Hitler. Well, you're not going to bring a Nazi up there.
You're making a lot of good comparisons
Thank you,
with
Adam.
murderers
Thank
and
you.
Hitler. I think I would have rather watched Tommy speak.
Oh,
than
yeah,
James
100%.
Franco.
It would have been more interesting.
I think that's more of what it is.
Yeah.
Than people like offended that
not
he
a
didn't let
No.
him.
It was not a rude thing. I would have loved to have heard what Tommy could have.
Tommy
had
to say.
It would have been probably about as coherent as what Kirk Douglas said. Whatever that was.
I think he did release what he was going to say.
It's
find
hard
this.
to follow you, Kev.
Good God. That picture you showed with he does not look like he's for this world.
Poor Kirk Douglas. But what the heck was... what is Catherine Zeta-Jones thinking, egging Kirk Douglas on to speak? Like, she should... I mean, that's her father-in-law. She knows, like, he's not going to be able to, like, really complete a sentence here or know when to stop speaking.
She deeps beneath the lasers. Ooh. She entrapped me and Sean Connery. Ooh. You ever watch Workaholics?
No.
Oh,
I thought you were just freestyling.
No. I'm trying to find what he said.
Okay, well, we'll keep going, and if you find it, go ahead and stop us. Best director went to Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah! Take that, Connor and Austin.
Yeah.
Idiots.
It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you idiots. I don't think you guys know what you're talking about on your podcast, right?
On your podcast over there.
Yours.
Trey and I got that right. Spencer picked Chris Nolan.
Yeah. And I was I'm fine with being wrong about that. I thought he did such a knockout job. So.
Man, you sound like you're sucking his dick.
Yeah, I mean, I would. But anyways, do you guys see he got in and out afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And so did Aziz Ansari and Eric Ware.
Yeah.
Oh, they're in California. Oh, my God.
I did love his acceptance speech.
He needs to probably lay off the in and out. Guillermo does. Probably doesn't need to do that.
Well,
come on, buddy.
How about you stop body shaming?
Like Peter Jackson lost all that weight. He can lose all that weight.
Time is up, Trey. Time is up. You're not going to body shame Mexican directors.
Guillermo del Toro and kind of Michael Moore and Peter Jackson, they all kind of had the same.
Yeah, kind of had that same look.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool him like going on and giving.
I'm kidding, Guillermo. I love you.
And then
I know you're listening.
The like your time's up music comes on. He's like, guys, come on.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because that guy is such a nerd, and he's friends with Hideo Kojima, so I dig it. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Actress in a musical or comedy went to Saoirse Ronan from Lady Bird, the titular Lady Bird.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay. All right.
So Trey and I got that one right. Spencer, you picked Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I got that one also wrong. That's the kind of the theme of the evening.
It's all right, Spencer.
Yeah.
You're good at some things.
Best performance by an actor in a drama went to Gary Oldman in The Darkest Hour.
That is weird. That's a weird one.
Yeah, we all
that's
picked.
such an Oscar bait performance. I mean, I haven't seen it, and I'm sure he's great. It's just that seems so.
He is really good. It is the Hollywood Foreign Press.
True.
Which I believe is mostly English language, which would mean a lot of like British people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe that gives him a boost.
Yeah.
We all picked Timothée Chalamet, who did not, and Call Me by Your Name didn't win.
Nope.
Anything.
It got there are several movies that were like celebrated but did not win anything.
Yes. Best performance by an actress in a drama went to Frances McDormand from 3 Billboards. Yep. I picked that. You guys both picked Meryl Streep.
Yep. Stupid call. Stupid.
She was really good in that movie. For all the qualms people have about 3 Billboards, I think that she is kind of the best part of that movie.
Yeah, and I think that was my take, whereas I thought the story was not great, but the performance, as from an acting standpoint, the performances were very good.
Yes.
All like across the board.
Does that movie feel like a sort of a Coen Brothers-y movie? Because it looks like a Coen Brothers movie in the trailer.
That's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they picked her.
Yeah.
Because
she's like, that's her Coen Brothers performance right there.
She's married to either Joel or Ethan. I don't know which one. Neither of them have their own Wikipedia page. So.
Yeah, they're just together.
Joint. Best Picture, Musical or Comedy went to Lady Bird. Trey and I picked that. Spencer picked The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
I think good things for Lady Bird. Maybe ahead.
Yeah, I think
as it goes through.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that I think I meant to mention when talking about director was Natalie Portman. Calling out like here are like it's 5 all male nominees for director when Lady Bird wins for picture comedy for actress, but Greta Gerwig doesn't even get a nom for director, which is bizarre. And I don't think I can't imagine that she will not get nominated for director, especially. I mean, just with the current climate, whereas you could easily knock out with how many? I'm not sure how many nominees
5.
do they give to directors. It's still just 5.
Directors is 5,
but for film they do 10.
They do like 10.
They
can do up to 10, I think.
Yeah,
I would imagine she would get nominated for director.
The thing is, it's not quite as technical as other things. I was surprised in hearing because when Barbara Streisand came up to present the award, she said that she was the only one to ever win at the Golden Globes, which seems weird because Catherine Bigelow's won
like Hurt Locker
Oscars and stuff. So
there's
I mean, how many female directors are there? I'm kidding.
Plenty. Not enough though.
About that.
And then for Best Picture Drama, 3 Billboards won. None of us had 3 Billboards.
That's a weird one.
I think it's surprising.
From what I've heard or read, is one thing that the Hollywood Foreign Press likes is critiques of American society from an outsider's point of view.
I don't like that at all.
And you get
Stay
that
out of my country.
from Martin McDonagh criticizing American culture. Yeah. So they're like, "Oh, this is our movie this year."
Right.
And clearly they the Hollywood Foreign Press loved that movie.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And so for our picks,
you know what? I'm going to start criticizing England from an outsider's point of view.
Do it, man.
You guys are a bunch of fucks.
Hey, Peru.
Hey.
Trey, you were
Fuck you, Sweden.
You're so visceral tonight. Just freaking raging.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a fucking 0.
For our picks, I got 6, Trey got 5, Spencer got 2.
Oh, no.
So that means
what am I watching?
Spencer gets a choice, a movie picked by us. And we talked about it. And Spencer,
you're going to have to see 100 or you're going to have to see Serbian film. Sorry.
You're not gonna have to see Serbian film.
You don't even know what Serbian film.
You will have to go see 50 Shades Freed coming out February 9th.
Now,
the 3rd in the trilogy.
Are we gonna put the little parameters on it that we talked about or no?
Go ahead and
all right. You have to buy 2 hot dogs and eat them during the movie.
No, I'm not spending $12 on hot dogs.
You can bring your own hot dogs.
I'm not bringing hot dogs either. I'm not doing hot dogs.
Do some of the other rules.
You have to wear sweatpants.
That's fine.
And a hoodie. You have to have your hoodie up.
Okay.
You have to have your hands in your pockets at all time, and you have to be breathing heavy. You have to sit next to a couple.
Wait, so you wrote these rules out as one thing where I'd have to obey all these rules. So you expected me to eat my hot dogs with my hands in my pockets?
Well, you can take your hands out, eat your hot dog, but you have to put it right back in.
Nope, you gotta lean down into your lap.
Sneaking hot dogs in and with both.
Yeah.
No, I'm down for I will see that movie.
Yeah.
I will wear sweatpants and a hoodie.
Next to a couple.
I mean, it depends on if it's assigned seating or not.
Oh, and Lexi can't be there. It's just you.
Yeah. You think why would you think she would see that?
Because you want to bring someone else with you. You have to be by
wife.
yourself.
No, so I mean, I don't have to see it on opening weekend, do I? I mean, or like opening night. I can
Maybe
see
the
it
first
when I
week.
want.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to see it on Valentine's Day.
Yes, by yourself.
Sorry, Alexa. Daddy's busy. Okay, so yeah, that'll be fun. I'll look forward to the review, y'all. On when would that be? The 12th, when we'll meet.
Yeah,
week of
probably
the
something like
12th. Look forward. 50 Shades Freed, a review by a very exhausted Spencer Hall.
All right. So
Okay.
we got Twitter questions.
Yeah, we got a few.
That's
a
good.
few here, just a little bit of Twitter.
What? Oh yeah, so that's one thing. There was some good laughs at the Golden Globes, including The Rock's daughter, who definitely earned her role as ambassador to for the Hollywood Foreign Press. Who's I'm not sure if she was just had some weird speech coaches or what, and was told to really smile through everything she says, but it looked like her lip was glued. Her upper lip was just glued up. So as she was speaking, it was kind of like she almost had a stroke.
Wow. Okay. Make fun of stroke victims now. All right.
I'm not making fun of stroke victims.
You're
I'm making fun of The Rock's daughter.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is bad news because
He'll beat you up.
you're gonna have to deal with The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, that's great news because that means The Rock listens to our podcast.
That'd be awesome. I mean,
It would be good for us if
Honestly,
The Rock murders.
it's not the
small-time podcast
farthest.
host.
It's not the farthest thing that could happen because I know he does listen to like a few kind of podcasts that I'm into.
Yeah. So
How do you know this?
Well, because he's so one of the podcasts I like, Kind of Funny. He's actually been he's done a few videos for them.
Okay.
Yeah, so like he's cool with other people. I'm not saying he would ever listen.
So he
to
probably
us,
listens to us.
but I'm just saying it's not like he is totally foreign to the idea of listening to a podcast.
Sorry,
So if
Mr.
you
Johnson.
could like title this episode when you
Fuck
post
The
it to-
Rock.
Well, I was just gonna say like the
Rock's
Rock's
daughter.
weird daughter.
Okay.
Or something.
We'll label it that. The Rock's weird daughter.
And Golden Globe stock.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we got some Twitter quote. First of all, Joshua Cameron. Thanks, Joshua. He's a good dude. He's always tweeting me. He mentioned to me that during Bad Radio's talk about the Golden Globes, they're talking shit about Dunkirk. Dan said it was the worst movie he ever saw, and TC said it was terrible. Your buddy TC, your friend.
Yeah, my best friend TC Fleming.
Yeah, and
they're
we'll have
wrong.
TC and his wife on pretty soon. Or TC and Megan on pretty soon.
I think you
Because
can
Megan has that movie podcast. We
Yeah.
can get her on.
you can safely write off anyone who has a radio show on the ticket. You can just write off their opinion on movies or music generally.
Yeah, I kind of agree with
Just
you.
a bunch of olds bad opinions.
Well, I agree to a point. I think pretty much the hard line you can write off a lot of their opinions on movies.
Mhm.
I think Bad Radio, for a few things, I'll take their advice, but mostly if it's like certain people, I'll say no. Users 100% write off anything they say because it's probably bad. Yeah, Norm, who really cares? Anyway, thank you, Joshua Cameron, for that. Well, I'm hellfire today. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You
why
are.
I'm all
Yeah, man.
angry. I don't know.
Electric.
Electric. All right, so we got this asshole Brad Folsom tweeting us. He does
back at it as soon as you acknowledge your hellfire. This freaking dick.
Well, I have good reasons to. This is Brad. He does the stupid blowout podcast called
Stupid.
I'm not even gonna say his podcast name.
Yeah, it doesn't deserve it.
This is Brad Folsom. Bits are fun. He does the Below the Belt podcast.
Oh, and he always does the why not. He always tweets the right. Is that him?
He's just an asshole, and I'm saying this because he talks shit about me on his podcast. So fuck Brad Folsom. Anyway, he says, he goes segment ideas. Number 1, retroactively award Best Picture Oscar for every year you've been alive. So go back and name the best pretty much picture. We can, I think it'd be a fun idea to go back and like the nominees.
We kind of did it.
The nominees though.
Are we limited to what was nominated? Yeah. What if a movie that we liked better was not nominated?
I think we should do limited to the nominees.
Okay? I don't like that.
You don't?
I think we should just pick our best movie of the year.
I mean, okay.
Because we can talk about it off air, but it's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay, that's his first stupid idea. Second idea.
We're not doing that, by the way.
Award Hall of Fame Oscars waiting 5 years before giving Hall of Fame awards. Like sports, you do Oscars from 5 years ago. Wait.
This is an idea.
Yeah, so you wait to see if over time it stands up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this year we would do movies from 2012.
Yeah.
So like Forrest Gump would definitely still have won. It's best movie ever made.
I don't know to what it was up against though. I think Shawshank Redemption and Pulp Fiction are way more notable.
Man. It's freaking best movie ever made.
Best movie ever. I know, like freaking Shakespeare in Love won over Saving Private Ryan, right? The 90s were trash, by the way.
90s were great.
For Oscars, the 90s were trash.
So many good movies.
No, the 90s were trash for Oscars.
Trey's
it was
gone on
trash.
Just
God,
going after years.
He's just freaking burning every bridge, scorched earth. Like nobody.
Yeah, and then he has this really bad idea. Number 3, have Adam and Connor throw things at your nuts. Connor's actually...
Oh, yes! This is the best idea.
Connor's on the GamesCast. This is Spencer Hall. He's on the FilmsCast.
No, I think this is our crossover episode.
Where you just throw things
Adam
at my
and
nuts.
Connor throw things at Trey's nuts.
That's the whole podcast.
Yes.
Super nutcast.
Yeah. Then he says, give me and Adam a hypothetical $50 million and see if we can fix the Star Wars movie with just CGI and new voice lines.
Ooh.
Cry about your ex-girlfriends on air.
Okay.
Try to determine the actual shape of water. Create movie scripts for improv lines.
Okay.
All right. That's a lot of ideas he's giving us.
These are some good ideas.
Yeah, I don't know why you're hating on this guy. Seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like he's trying to help us.
Sounds like a guy who actually listens to us. So calling him like an idiot is maybe not the best idea, Trey.
Okay, I won't do that anymore.
I mean, I guess he didn't say that he wanted to smash our nut to get other
That's
people
true.
to smash our nuts.
He's not directly insulting us.
But it's his brand, Below the Belt.
Yeah, that's true.
They take things below the belt. He's a weird guy. We should get him on.
He's a freaking loser.
I'm gonna play a clip from this episode.
Brett or Quix. Oh, I don't know. He's got a weird Twitter name. But Brett, he says, "What are y'all gonna do?" Oh, fuck this guy. When are you gonna do a Chrono Trigger podcast? Frogs theme during IJB sent me back 20 years. This is the GamesCast. This is the FilmsCast, not the GamesCast.
He freaking got you though. He freaking got you.
Oh, he wrote TC. So wait a minute. I don't even think he was replying to us. I think he was just replying to. Okay, whatever. It was random. Sorry, I said fuck you. I don't think he was replying to this. That's so funny.
You just reading random tweets now?
Yeah, just random tweets. No, he was tweeting at me. I thought he was replying to the call for questions.
Gotcha.
And now, finally, our best buddy, Connor Risenhoover asks, Did any awards at the Golden Globes surprise you? What one that you think could also win at the Oscars?
Yeah, I would say that the 3 Billboard stuff was surprising to me. And as for the Oscars, I think things are shaping up pretty well for Lady Bird.
Yeah, I'm thinking, God, it's tough because as much as I love Dunkirk, I'm starting to think that it wouldn't necessarily be a snub, but it won't win for picture or director. I do think that Del Toro he'll probably still win for director.
I feel like I've been surprised by Academy Award winning directors lately.
But I was about to say something really bad, but yeah. I was about to say they're either the winner of the best picture or they're not, which is obvious. That's a really dumb statement. Yeah.
That was a surprise. I think what are other winners that I think could also what do y'all think could
winners
that could also win for the Oscars?
I think that things look pretty good for old James Franco.
Yeah,
to win. For actor,
for best actor, because it'd be him against Gary Oldman if it's both of those, and then
but Timothy they
Chalamet.
Could, but also at the same time, like the Oscars have a pretty, aside from like Moonlight last year, have a pretty good history of like being, like avoiding awarding movies like LGBTQ.
But
movies.
They tend to give that to actors, but not the film itself. It seems like, because didn't Brokeback Mountain win a lot of acting awards, but they were snubbed from the Best Picture?
I don't recall.
I want to say they were.
And, but like Moonlight last year, it won Best Picture, and then Mahershala Ali won.
But he wasn't the gay character.
He was right.
Do you think Call Me by Your Name has a chance? If I don't know,
I don't think it has a chance for picture.
No.
I think Timothy has a chance though.
Yeah,
because his performance was fantastic. So.
I could see Lady Bird. I don't think Shape of Water. I don't think Shape of Water gets it because it's a sci-fi movie. Technically.
I don't think it wins Best Picture.
I don't think it will either.
Because they have a grudge against sci-fi films for some reason, even though those are the best movies ever made, or sci-fi movies. So
I mean, I don't think that Forrest Gump was a sci-fi movie, but
Pee-wee's Big Adventure wasn't a sci-fi movie either.
It sure as heck was.
Oh,
it was everything.
It was everything.
That's the beauty of Pee-wee.
Yeah, he's everything for everyone.
Yeah. Any more Twitter questions?
No, that's it, man.
Well, should we sign off with the movies we're recommending
for each other?
For each other? Okay, we could do that.
Yeah.
All right, let me go. Oh, by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Letterboxd. We're not being sponsored by them, but I would totally take their money.
Yeah, I do need to clean. I've gone through pretty far,
but
it's so hard to catalog everything.
Yes.
It's best for like lists of movies you haven't seen for sure, and then keeping track like starting now.
I've gone through my backlog. I've actually been just kind of going through and like clicking movies I've seen, so I kind of have like a 600 movie like list of every movie I've seen, which I know there's a lot more. But I don't want to take that much time.
Adam's at like 900.
Yeah. And it's great for lists. It's great for backlogs. I have I have like 200, almost over 200 in my backlog list right now.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
I saw both of y'all's lists, your backlog or your movies to watch list. Yeah, yours was like 250 and Adam's was like 60 or something. I think
I might pare that down because they have a watch list and they have a backlog list. What I might do is put like maybe 20 I want to watch like right now in my watch list. And so they're just there, so I just kind of know, and then have my backlog list as just a broad list.
It's you got your like repository, and you're moving them over to your watch list, so you're prioritizing.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of how I do with my video. I wish they had this for video games. That'd be so helpful because I love this right now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It crashes a bunch. It's letterboxed, no E in between the X and the D in letterboxed.com.
So I'll just go ahead and start. So Trey. Tell me, have you seen The Warriors?
No. You know what? I watched it on TV a little bit, and I put it as I watched it, but I'm like, I don't think I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a movie I think you would really like.
Okay.
I love that movie. It's one of like the coolest movies ever to me.
Yeah.
So I'll recommend you watch that.
Okay.
And then Adam, we will give you our sign in to Filmstruck so you can watch Dogtooth.
Great.
I like to watch Dogtooth too.
Yeah. I'm kind of gonna cheat. I'm gonna give one for both of you guys.
Okay.
Spencer, because you are just going to start with improv, and Trey, you're starting off. The movie Don't Think Twice. It's on Netflix right now. It is directed by Mike Birbiglia, stand-up comedian. It's the movie that I watched that kind of pushed me to finally sign up for classes.
Okay, great.
It's about a guy in an improv troupe who gets on SNL, essentially, and it's played by Keegan-Michael Key. And
and
it's kind of like the jealousy dynamic of all that, and kind of what happens to other people when you get famous. So there's Keegan-Michael Key, Gillian Jacobs, Chris Gethard, Mike Birbiglia's in it. There's a lot of good things, and it's really funny, and I think an interesting story.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that then. Yeah, I've seen the poster up at UCH.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Don't think twice on the worst. I'll give you guys both, because I saw this was on your list of things to watch. And have you seen Chronicle,
No.
Spencer?
No.
I'll give you both Chronicle.
Okay.
Because we just did talk about Max Landis.
Okay.
And he did write this movie.
Right.
And he did not direct it, he wrote it. And it's probably one of my favorite movies. It's in like top 20. I think it might be on my top 20 list. But
Yeah.
Chronicle, yeah.
Okay.
It's a great kind of a superhero movie, but it's got a twist, something to it. It's kind of weird too, because it's handheld. It's like found footage.
Right.
Where and it's weird too, because I'm like, okay, they did this just to be marketing, but like he wrote it as a found footage movie. I think that's probably the one thing that kind of hurts it. But but what is cool about it is that because they have powers, he can control the camera, and so they kind of cheat. Where it's like it's not shaky all the time. It's okay. They're actually doing camera movements here, and it's a great movie. I think it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, see Chronicle.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we should do that every week. I like that idea.
Yeah.
That is Super FilmsCast 64. That's I think it's episode 30 something. Something. I don't know, man. We're getting up there, dude. It's FilmsCast. We're probably Gamescast. We'll have 100 this year, like by September, I think.
Nice.
Episode 100. So we'll do a joint kind of thing. I don't know if we want to do any kind of remote. I don't know. I'm a little scared to do that, but I like to do something more and try to see who even listens to our show.
Okay.
For us and Gamescast. And we want to get some more guests on. I want to get Megan. The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get Megan on. We need to get TC on.
Sounds good.
Some more maybe critics or people around the area that do film stuff. That'd be great.
Sounds good.
Directors or whatnot. Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast. Let us know what you think. Please give us a like on iTunes. And please give us a comment, rating. Please let us know what you think. I'm Trey Vids on Twitter. Adam
at the Fullerton.
Spencer
at Coach Chucky.
Anything to promote? Anything you're doing? Any cool things?
I just got my Reddit account back after it was hijacked. So
nice,
that's cool.
Awesome.
I am gonna be in an improv show this Saturday, where I stay up.
Oh yeah,
for 36 plus hours leading up to it.
Oh god,
yes.
And so that's at the Dallas Comedy House, I believe at 10:30.
Okay.
You can go to DallasComedyHouse.com to get tickets.
Jeez, all
the
right.
world famous Dallas Comedy House.
It is. It's becoming a lot more famous. It's awesome. I love that place. And you're starting your classes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I start on Thursday.
We'll have a review of that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a great time with your life.
Bye.